Okay, we got the Troybilt horse back in the shop today. You've seen in the previous video, we got the engine replaced on it, and when I took it down to the garden, it wouldn't stay in gear, it wouldn't go. I had to adjust on the belt. So the belt is adjusted about as far down as it will go on the belt adjustment. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and replace the belt and get a new one put on there so we can have a little more adjustment and not have to worry about it in the future for a while. So in this video, I'm going to show you two ways of replacing the belt on your Troybilt Horse Tiller. As far as belts for this machine, I just went down to the my local small engine repair and parts store, and for this machine that uses the Pix brand belt, it's P9245. It was $12. We'll get this thing put on, and that should do us good for a while on this machine. So for starters, on this machine, you want to make sure it is not in gear and drive. You want to leave it up as loose as possible, and we'll get this thing pulled off. So the first way we're going to get this belt off of here, it's sitting all the way down, and we're just going to take this belt, pull it between the sheaves, and slide it off the back. Now once you get the belt up so far, we're going to put this thing in gear, which is going to pull this pulley up. So that'll give us room to get this belt out of here. Okay, so that's up in gear. Belt came right out. And installing the new one will be going in reverse. Also on this old belt, don't know if we'll be able to see it or not, the number for it. Troybilt 9245. And the new belt, same number, 9245, just a different brand. So here's the new belt. Still have it in gear. We're going to fish this thing down in here. Got to get it in between the pulleys. And push it down until it gets down on this bottom. Okay. Okay, the bottom is in, so now we're going to take it out of gear. Try to set it all the way down, basically like you're going into reverse. And we should be able to fish this thing up and over. Try to turn the engine over. I had that belt pulled up. as far as I could go, and I just turned the engine over and it rolled it back up where it needed to be. So the only other thing that you would do at this point would be readjust the belt, but we will get that done and we should be good to go. Also, a side note, on some of these Troybilts, they're 2-speed or 4-speed. Mine's a 4-speed. So just make sure you have it on the correct sheave, the correct pulley. There's 2 down low, 2 up high. Just make sure it's on the right one, or it's going to be going a different speed than what you're going to be used to. Alright, the new belt's on, but I'm going to go ahead and show you another way if you're unable to get the belt to pull off. It's going to require a 1/2 inch or 9/16 if it's the original engine. More than likely it's a 9/16 if it's the Harbor Freight Predator. It's going to take a 1/2 inch. So the machine is still in neutral. It's down. So what we're going to do, get something to hold the pulley with, which I don't. This reverser wheel right here is covered in rubber, so be careful when you put pliers or anything like that on it. If it's slipping, find something else to try to stop the pulley with, otherwise you're going to tear your reverser up. So all we're going to do is remove this main shaft bolt off of this Predator. Okay. Fine threaded 5/16 bolt. And all we're going to do now, pull the reverser off. There's the reverser. It's coated in rubber, so just be careful putting pliers on that. Once that reverser's off, you can either slide the pulley all the way off, or there's enough slack in that belt to pick it up off of there. So at this point, we would go ahead and put it in gear again with the belt pulled back, and all that's going to do is give us room to get this belt off this bottom pulley. See, there's the new belt. So leave it in gear, fish that belt down around the bottom sheave, get it on the pulley that you want. Okay, and then on the top here, it's in the grooves. It's been a little bit of a pain, so I'm going to get it started up on here and rotate the engine like I did a minute ago. And that should pull it the rest of the way. Just wash your fingers when you do that, otherwise you're gonna pinch yourself pretty good. Okay, so that's on. Key blaze in. Here's the reverser and the bolt. And I believe the actual torque spec for this is 25 to 28 foot-pounds. Alright, that's two different ways of changing your drive belt on your Troybilt Horse Tiller. Now obviously you could see the new belt was quite a bit tighter. I'd use the engine to spin it over to help roll it into the groove. So the next thing we're going to do is adjust the belt. And to do that, you have that one little bolt right down there, which is a 9/16 head, a 3/8 bolt. And this little ramp slides up and down to wherever you need it to put the right tension on the belt. So we'll go ahead and adjust on it because I know it's going to be a little tighter now. You should be able to loosen it a little bit, one way or the other, and slide it. So all the tension's up off of the ramp, or the adjuster. You can see it slides up, it slides down. So we'll get it put in gear. It looks like there's enough tension. I'm looking at the belt. The belt's a little slack, just sitting there. So I can push this down a little bit more. Like so. The belt looks good there. Now I'm going to go ahead. There's enough tension on it that it's not moving. So I'm going to go ahead and snug this down here. Okay. So next thing is going to be to fire this thing up and see how it runs. So to start it, make sure it's in gear. And this Predator engine, I've really been impressed with. It is cold. That's exhaust. You know, it doesn't take long for those things to heat up. But start wise, turn the fuel on, turn the choke on, give a little throttle. Turn it on. Shuts off. Fires that up. So let's go ahead and drive this thing. Make sure everything's going to work on it. Alright, that's two different ways of replacing your drive belt on your Troybilt horse. I imagine some of the other Troybelts are similar. This is the only one I know though. This is all we've had as Troybilt horses. They seem to be good, reliable machines. This one I believe is a 1968 model, and it's still going strong. Just had to give it a new engine, and I've tilled my garden multiple times this year. A buddy of mine borrowed it, tilled his garden with it. Haven't had any issues out of the machine. If you found the video helpful at all, if you would go ahead and give it a thumbs up. The only thing else I need to do to this machine is replace the tines on it. I have a brand new set of tines for it. You can see these tines down here. They're getting wore out, getting real pointy. So here before too long, we'll get those tines replaced, and it should be good to go for quite a few years. So thanks, guys.